I wanted to find out why people were judged by the color of their skin instead of the content of their character. And so that began very early on when I was perhaps maybe 8 or 9 years old.
Okay.
My journey into psychology, into the mind, and as well, and I didn't really think about it until now that we're speaking, I was very much into the spiritual.
Okay.
But not so much into the spiritual with regard to the Creator, with regard to God,
okay,
but into death, and into ghosts. And at some point, I was looking at, I really wanted to be, I read about Hans Holzer and all these pioneers of parapsychology, and it again, all in divine order. When I was very, very young, I was visited often by ghosts. But I know I've always been in tune to a lot of electromagnetic, waves and the presence of, other worldly,
Did it scare you as a young
entities.
person?
It scared the
heck
out of me. My first...
letting fear kind of get in the way of your dreams. Wow. Yeah, man, like forget about it. Like I'm like, it's so crazy. Danny Devastation is a character. That's all. I don't want to say fake because it's so organic. Yes. But do you get what I'm saying? I'm the complete opposite. I'm very, I'm very.
They say that about artists.
It's weird. It sounds so cliche, but it's the truth. I'm like the complete opposite. So I fear judgment. I fear that. I fear people expecting certain things from me and not me not be. I guess the typical things that anybody,
every artist,
so
you're in good company.
Exactly. They won't never let you tell it though. That's the difference between them and me. See, I would try to keep it real with you. Nah, but definitely.
So now, thank you for also doing this because it has gotten challenging to have people also not mind partaking on camera. Because I noticed even on your Instagram, you make it clear that you don't sell flowers.
Exactly, that's important because I'm a stoner, I'm a ganjapreneur, I'm an advocate, I care about medical marijuana, but that's not what I'm caring about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not about selling it to the world. I make sure that people know it exists in other places that they don't know it exists. So in my travels, a lot of times I have service too often in some of the countries that we go to, but when I do, I try to make sure that I post footage from certain festivals or trade shows that are cannabis related so that people understand that, wow, in Berlin and Copenhagen and of course Amsterdam, but Barcelona and these places, it's actually an incredible community. The society for cannabis is extreme.
So I wanted to ask you, how did you feel about putting that scene in? How did you feel at 12? If you can remember, how do you think that played a part? So it's 3 questions. How do you think that played a part to you as an adult woman and experiencing that so young?
Okay, so I'll start with how did I feel about putting that
in the play.
In the play.
In the story, right.
Behind that. So I wanted to be an open book. And that was, I wanted to be an open book, and I also wanted to stay on topic, which was being a closet bitch.
Okay.
And letting things slide and not speaking up and making other people comfortable, and in return I'm making myself uncomfortable. All the things that happen in our lives are a buildup of who we become. Right? So I'm not saying in that moment I was necessarily a closet bitch because I was young. I was 12. You know what I mean? But that was a moment that led me to be a closet bitch because I felt a
Yes.
certain kind of way. I was hurt about it, but I never had a full conversation with it, which I should have. Which is
But we still have this in our head, like, well, what's the white guy coming to the hood to save our kids? You know what I'm saying? What's the white guy coming into the prisons to save our kids? Do you deal with that? Are you told that subliminally in some kind of ways? And how do you say, well, yes, it's the white guy?
Right. Sometimes, because I look at it like, sometimes I am the white guy. Sometimes I'm just a guy. Sometimes you're a beautiful black woman in front of me. Sometimes you're just a beautiful woman in front of me.
Okay.
So I have these moments where I have my racial lenses on and they see black and white, and then there are times that it's not. It's just human beings. I've been in the process of deprogramming myself from this mania that culture has created. So sometimes I know that when I walk into a room, whether it's in jail or in Harlem or in Brooklyn, and I'm the only white guy or one of few white guys, white people, I know that can be glaring at times, and I feel like less and less, more so in the past, but less and less, it's an issue, because people, I think other people like yourself, black people, are realizing, oh, wait a minute, it's not just a racial issue. Can't deny that there's a racial thing going on, but it's a human thing. And I think even 10 years ago, it was more a color thing, and it's less so that now, because people see how anybody can sell out their people, quote unquote, right?
Good and bad, right? Okay. Because my whole life, people have told me, "Hey, focus on one thing," and I'm sure you've heard it. Everyone
focus on one thing at a time.
Do one thing really well, and once you do that,
and you have to put the voice in.
Yes, and what I gotta tell these people is that
what now?
No.
Okay.
No. Right? Because I'm the type of person, I am an artist, I'm creative, I like to utilize different mediums.
Okay.
And I love to do everything.
Okay.
And I will do everything.
Okay. So y'all having this contest, y'all having this cipher.
So we're having this convo. And
I'm sorry, I keep saying cipher. You're having this convo.
No. So, and we're thinking about the Bronx. And for a long time already, I've been thinking about the Bronx. I feel like we've kind of woken up. I feel like my generation, and I kind of like stepped up. I don't know if it's because of the political climate. I don't know if it's because just the rise and like empowerment. Like, hey man, let's do this. This is us.
Yes.
But for a minute, I was like, man, I want to do something for the Bronx, man. And even when I was in SVA, right, I used to be like, I was in school, and like, I'm from the Bronx. You from the Bronx? First of all, you don't look like you're from the Bronx. Second of all, what? Like what? Like you haven't died yet?
Right.
Like oh, I've never been to the
Shade.
Bronx.
Okay.
Shade. And I used to be like, yo, teachers, students. Like I used to be the only dude from the Bronx. I was like, yo, what's up with this? Like these people really don't know what the Bronx is about.
That's true.
So like it's been built up. Light bulb. I'm like, yo, I gotta finesse, bro. I gotta take all my skills. I gotta do what I'm doing here and just show these people what the Bronx is truly about.
So I don't know what that is because when I think of burnout, I think of you over exhausting yourself and you burn out.
Yes. So, but burnout. Here's the thing: there are a lot of functioning burnouts.
Okay.
In our world today, particularly in the U.S., especially in New York City. So there are people who I know who are always tired.
Yeah.
I know people who've been tired for 5 years. They're still tired. There are those of us who always have some drama coming up. There's who get stressed every week, who feel like we're at the end of our rope on a periodic basis. So for that to occur in your life over and over and over again, so let's say that just happens 4 times a year.
Okay.
But in 5 years, that's a lot of stress. And it starts to add up. So you're dealing with now stress from loss.
Okay.
You're dealing with stress from transportation and commuting, financial stressors, stressors raising your children, stressors from your relationships.
Did you have
stressors
any
from
key
friendships?
stresses? Did you have any key stresses that you realized that played a part in?
Well, when I was in toxic relationships, there was a phase
friendships
where
or romance?
both.
Okay.
Both.
I know I feel like move. I haven't had this problem before.
The weather's changing. The weather's changing.
Okay.
It's the first day of fall, too.
They
leaves is on the ground. Bugs.
Thank you for understanding.
No, it's all good.
So your father taught you about
Yeah. My father put us all first. That was just what it is. And my mother made it known that your father's first to me, and I'm first to your father.
Oh, wow.
And everything else that's left is what y'all get. If we so choose to give it to you,
No way.
then you're
And your
blessed
mother
to
would
have
say
that.
that.
Nigga, my mother's response. What? She'll say it to this day, and nigga, you down. Like, nigga, you ain't before me, nigga. You only the kid. You the son. I'm the wife. Yeah. And that's the rules that we go by.
Okay, that's
So I'm not mad that,
okay.
like, my parents' house, if you're not married, y'all don't get to sleep together. I don't give a fuck if y'all was together for 22 years. If y'all don't got the ring and go through the ceremony, y'all don't get to sleep together. We ain't doing that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I come from. You know what I'm saying? So I pass that down to her, but I'm a little more liberal than my parents, because I understand. I'm more liberal than her mom is. I've been in the music business.
Would you agree? Yeah. Okay.
I've been in the music business. I live a different life.
But I do what I do.
How has this new administration
Yes,
played a part?
very much so.
Okay.
And what I always tell people, it's not so much you have to hold a boundary for yourself in what is sacred and true for you, right? CBD is precious to me on all levels, so I will stand by that. When you look at the world or the influence of certain presidents and politicians and people of influence, what you need to say is, I am uncomfortable with what you're doing, and thank you for causing that discomfort, because they are the greatest catalyst for change and growth through that much discomfort. You know, that's the purpose. For those of us who are trying to reach for light and trying to affect change on the planet, we must really appreciate the shadow. The shadow is strong right now, but it's not going to change anything. It's just propelling us to reach higher and faster and with more certainty towards that light.
Amen.
Everybody.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that everybody who comes around is not your friend.
Right.
And everybody who's in your life don't mean they're going to be there forever.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to make the discernment who is who and what is what. That's your job.
Right.
And that requires you to what? Know yourself.
Right.
So stop playing. And I'm not joking.
I'm not laughing.
I'm dead serious.
No, I'm laughing.
What I'm asking you to do as your sister, who I know has great potential, who I know is set forth, who's been eager from the first day that I ever met you to be the best that you could be, to be somebody that you're proud of, to be somebody that your kids are proud of, to be somebody that your husband is proud of, or the man in your life, to do work that you feel like is going to be ever changing. All I know about you, literally, is that you're eager to do great work. So I'm saying to you, stop fucking playing.
Which is,
Catherine,
yes.
stop it.
Which is why I'm here.
Stop tricking yourself
Right.
into believing that all these people are other things that you aspire to be. Until you find your voice and live in that space, nothing else should matter. And I mean that from
believe that. No, I feel that.
from my heart. Because what they do in their life, everything that glitters ain't gold. And that's a fact.
Yes, it is.
Stop playing. Step into your greatness and stop abbreviating yourself for other people. And when my life blossomed, it was because I decided that I was going to step into my own voice and not abbreviate myself for other people. And stop worrying about what this one was going to think if I did that, or what that one. Allow yourself to make some mistakes and have to think about some of the shit you did, whether it was people was favorable to it or not. Who cares? It's your life.
Tech believes that financial freedom and education are the civil rights movement of our time.